Hey folks, Mil-Spec Ops Monkey here. Listen, we've been talking about this for quite some time, and the deal is back. This is through our affiliate program with My Patriot Supply. You can head over to monkeywerxprep.com, and the current deal right now is we've got a 3-month kit that includes a free Alexa Pure Pro water filtration system that is a $279 value. This won't last for long. When they're gone, they're gone. So if you want to get that filtration system, jump on it. With every 3-month kit you buy, you're going to get that filtration system with it until supplies are gone. And so remember, monkeywerxprep.com. Jump over there now. Get what you need for you and your family. As these things start to unfold around us, you will feel better. You'll sleep better at night knowing that you have taken the necessary precautions for you and your family. monkeywerxprep.com. That's it. We'll talk soon. God bless. Monkey out. All right. Hey, welcome, folks. Mil-Spec Ops Monkey here. Listen, this is going to be an audible. I had to make some adjustments late this evening because I was informed that the power in my area was going to be going down tomorrow for a couple of hours. And I've also got the generators being installed tomorrow. So this is going to be all hands on deck, just getting the final touches to the new location up and running. And so I've had to go and record this. It's about 8 o'clock at night. And so you will see Australia is popping. Yeah, West Coast is popping. And, a lot of the things that we typically don't see happening during our normal sit reps because they're in the morning time are kind of going active. And so we'll look at those and we'll take a look at some other things. We're going to talk the immigrant machine this evening a little bit more. And again, I apologize for messing this one around, pre-recording it on you, but I had to do it. Otherwise, I would be dead in the water tomorrow around the time that I was going to have to record the sit rep live to the members. So let's do this. Let's jump over here to the mini board and kind of get into it. And this is, we're kicking it off down under in Australia. And this is a lot livelier than we normally see. Normally it is like 0, maybe 1. But let's see here. We've got this NA, 2 NAs. I imagine these are probably going to be P8s, Navy P8s if I had to guess. We do have a Navy P3 here. Again, this is down near Melbourne, Australia. And we get up here to Brisbane, and you can see there is a little bit, as I zoom right on past all of this, there's a little bit more stuff going on out here, some CJ27s, etc. Let me do this. I'm going to take back it up a little, and you can see the congestion that is going on down there. But it is, it's pretty busy for Brisbane and that general area. Let me take away this tag too, because this for some reason is they're stacked on top of each other, aren't they? Kind of hard to get into the mix of all of that while we're doing a live show to figure out exactly what we are looking at here. Looks like quite a few different type of aircraft. There's probably some trainers mixed in there as well, some P8s. And then if we kind of spin it around to the other side, which is going to take us over to, let me just do this. I see what I've got engaged, and I'm going to turn it off as soon as I get over here. And that is this little button right here that is messing with me. That's going to be my refresh, the auto refresh. And when that bad dude is on, it's just grabbing every 5 seconds. Everything is flying. And that will kind of mess you up. I don't care how many gig you were pumping in your landline here. So these look to be mostly trainers over here on this side over near Perth. So we will get away from Australia. Let's hop up to Japan, head a little bit north. You can see we do have some more activity going on there. We will hit the tags on that, a couple C-130s. Aircraft that I actually recognize, more C-130s, some C-560. That is going to be one of those kind of like a little, I think that's a Citation, if I'm not mistaken, probably Marine Corps related, and then a little BE-20 and an NA. Now that NA is probably a P-8, Navy P-8. They like to fly under that for some reason, but a little air refueling down there too. Okay, let's head over to CONUS and take a quick back of the napkin look at what we've got going on there. This is, it's a little busy. Let's see, in the evening, it does kind of start to settle down as the East Coast goes offline. West Coast is online. Notice we still have some text 2s in there. So let me pop our list up. let's take those off of our list, and that will basically help us kind of cold filter all of that and get us down to real number 127. So yeah, it's a little light, but you can see a lot of little things happening out here. We've got some of our R135s that are up. We've got Gordo 2, that's going to be your doomsday aircraft that is up and flying. They're up pretty frequently, so that's not unusual to see them up. But that doomsday plane gets often confused as Air Force One. It looks, it's got the blue and white. It's not the same paint scheme as Air Force One, but it's an important aircraft. And if things were to go hot and you needed an airborne command center for POTUS, he would probably jump on that more than likely, or his chief of staff would be. And so that is a very important aircraft that is in our arsenal. And all right, so let's do this. I'm going to see how many, because I did not filter for the tankers, etc. So we'll just do this. Let's pop, let's see here, the air refuelers. This is going to be KC-135s. We'll throw on the Pegasus. We'll just look at the U.S. for right now. And that's going to be 767s. And I'm looking for DC-10s, and I'm not seeing any DC-10s up. So based on that, that gives us a number of 12 air refuelers up over the United States currently at this moment. And East Coast, again, is always more busy in terms of refuelers and everything else. Now, as I mentioned before, air refuelers are a pretty good indicator that you've got fighters in the region. All right. Okay. So we're going to look at, we did pull a couple things I want you to see. First, we're going to look at the C-17s and just notice the last 3 days, 66 of them. Notice the locations down in Southern California, right there near the border. We've got some stuff at Beale Air Force Base, just outside of Sacramento, east of San Francisco. And then that's going to be Charleston down in South Carolina. These are, in essence, taking equipment to the ports that are going to be shipped across the drink because it is far too expensive to put them on aircraft. And then these, notice Luxembourg, England, look to be the two hot locations the last couple of days. One little one popping in and out of RZE right there at the forwarding operating base near Ukraine. That's in Poland. And then down here in southern Spain, over Malta. And let me see, we're going to take just a gander at Japan, and it is, again, hardly anything at all. That's what tells me that we are more concerned about Europe. That's our focus, and we're not overly worried about the stuff going on over in Asia Pacific, right? Okay, now we'll take one last little gander since we're looking at Australia. Got something out of Brisbane and something down in Sydney, all right? Now let's look at 3-day surveys. This is the last couple of days. Notice we continue to see the transitions. And I will tell you that my system did not pull in everything. It kept giving me an error message for some crazy reason. So I just let it go at that. But it was a handful of flights. Notice that there's more activity going on down in Florida now that we hadn't seen in the past. And so that is kind of to the north and south of Trump. I believe he's kind of right in that general area right there, but that is survey work going on pretty doggone close to him. And then if we get down by Miami, Homestead, headed towards the Keys, there's some stuff going, and then over Tampa area as well. And then again, these long transitions. So they're moving themselves into position to get better data elsewhere. Okay. North Texas, North Dallas, that area, up there running some surveys there too. So, okay, let's do this. We're going to hop on away from that. Let's get over to, I'll bounce on to Flashbang only because that's today. We didn't do a sit rep today. Looks like he just did his briefing stuff. Nothing really to see there. I won't have anything for you. So when you're looking at it for 5.3, it's not going to be there. Okay. All right. This is the thing that I think is going to potentially get us all. And that is the fact that the White House is now asking Kevin McCarthy to negotiate the debt limit bill. Remember, you had this one here talking about there was going to be no negotiations, that we ain't here to negotiate. And it looks like they have since changed their tune. But this is pretty bad. You may remember Janet Yellen was just saying that if we defaulted, according to her, June 1st, the Treasury runs out of money. They had $300 million to do whatever it is they need to do. But at that point, they are zero balance unless they can take money from taxes. That was the only thing that I saw, which got my attention, because then I'm like, oh, armed IRS agents, maybe. I don't know where they come into play, but yeah, anyway, this is just a bad scenario for the United States if we do default, because as Yellen was saying, we basically are going to start to see unemployment and layoffs and all kinds of different things start to cascade from that, including, crazy inflation. All right, let's move away from this, kind of, sort of. Let's get over here to this piece on this booming economy. Yeah, U.S. regional bank stocks crash. They say the PacWest is down 30%, Western Alliance down 25%, and Metropolitan Bank down 21%. What do these people know that we don't know? Of course, that would be considered insider trading. But for that, everybody to start bailing out is definitely something that we should all be a little worried about. So pay attention to that one. Let's go over here to this. We're going to look at the dollar. And I did have it here for the 1 day. You can see it is already starting to free fall here. Let's get to the 30-day mark, because I think that really tells, actually we'll go 3 months. Really starts to tell the picture. You can see it is definitely on the burn down. When you get into the day-to-day noise, there's just so many big swings and dips. It's very hard to really get a good picture of it. But when you back up on the data and you go to, say, a 3 month, that really does kind of tell the picture, doesn't it? So, all right, let's boogie out of this. This is going to be your Swift Air, the immigrant moving machine. Notice we got some stuff coming in and out of Bogota, down here at Harlan in the very southern tip of Texas. We've got some moves between Biggs, or at least El Paso, into what looks to be Tucson, and then another aircraft that looks to be headed down southbound. Let's see. I said Tucson. Let's go. We got Reno to Phoenix, El Paso to Phoenix, Bogota, Colombia to Valley, or Harlingen. All right. Now that becomes important, because this is a major deal we have to pay super close attention to. The Biden administration is actually sending 1,500 active duty troops to the southern border amid a migrant surge. I don't know. That's probably has to tie, if I was guessing, this probably has to go back to the negotiations relative to the debt ceiling, and something behind the scenes is going on. That's why the only reason that they're doing this. It's not because he wants to do the right thing. It is somebody's leveraging him to say, yeah, you're going to have to shut this down, come to the border, and or we're not going to move on the debt ceiling, and we'll let it default. And personally, let it default. As far as I'm concerned, shut the government down, and let's just rebuild it, right? Okay, this is why. Check this out. Cartels are massing 700,000 to 1 million illegal immigrants that are planning, they're going to overwhelm the U.S. border as soon as Title 42 ends, which is right around the corner. And so pay very close attention to that, because if Title 42 does end and they allow these folks just to come in the masses, it's going to overrun our system, and that's going to impact everything from your kids in school to your police departments to anything and everything. So health system, etc. All right. No mas. Washington Examiner, Lightfoot pleads with Abbott not to bus more immigrants to Chicago. Well, I will tell you what, guaranteed he's probably getting ready to just unload on them. Just from being a fellow Texan, I don't see us relenting on this level at all. So this is probably going to be exponentially increased, especially if the border gets overrun. And so, hello, Chicago. Let's get over here to this side. And another one, no mas. New York City's Abbott migrant busing targets Black-run cities. Well, maybe not so much, but let me tell you, this is, it's what happens. You want to walk a mile in our shoes, and you're going to get to. And so as they come to our borders, we're pushing them all the way up into the interior of our country. Unfortunately, I feel for everybody else that has to deal with this, but I will say that this is the policy that the administration wants to have, then, well, they're going to feel the pain as well as we are here in Texas and everybody else on the border. So, okay. Well, it's happening again. F-22s intercept a sound it out. I'll get it right sooner or later. Spherical object off of Hawaii in the latest balloon chase. First indications that something was afoot was last Friday when a C-17 was asked to divert to investigate something near Hawaii. Yeah, we actually had seen the comms. We just couldn't confirm them, but that looks like that was real. It looks like these F-22 high-dollar babies coming out of Hickam Air Force Base rolled in to investigate this as well. They say it doesn't have anything on it, that it just looks to be some type of a balloon headed to the West Coast, but we'll see it here in a couple of days, I guess. Let's see if they shoot it down before it gets there, or if we let it go all the way across the United States and then discover when it gets to the East Coast out over the Atlantic that, oh, by the way, they were taking pictures of everything. All right. Russian warplanes are trying to provoke the U.S. jets into dogfights over Syria. Well, we know there have been a multitude of incursions taking shape over that area, and it has been going on the uptick. So it doesn't surprise me, and we'll have to keep our eye closely on this because there's a lot of moving parts going on right now in Syria with respect to Israel and Iran and Turkey and Russia and the United States. So it definitely don't want to take our eyes off of this one. So we'll continue to monitor that. All right, let's get over here to what our NOTAMs look like. This is kind of interesting. Notice there are a lot of things popping up. Sudan is the area that is having the massive coup and the military activity going on right now. But there are a lot of other little things that are popping up down here. Ethiopia, Kenya, the Democratic Republic of Congo, all the way down here. Remember, we just saw some C-17s down in Cape Town. And then notice some things out here off the coast of Rio de Janeiro, up here in this general area in South America. And then look at the United States, a lot more boxes popping up. Now, keep in mind, we're getting into the time of year, the season, when we do see our guards start to get active and a lot of military exercises and operations happening here in the United States, training-wise. So we'll continue to watch that. Let's get up north. We still have these launch windows up over Greenland. Looks like exercises off of Iceland, between Iceland and Norway. And not seeing anything that catches my eye outside of the usual stuff. We do have some things going on here, and looks like Saudi Arabia is heated up a little bit there with operations. We do have a lot going on in Australia. Oh, Australia is the flavor of the hour tonight. Let me tell you, a lot of things happening over here. Let's see if we've got any indication. Okay, Southeast Queensland will take place. Aircraft operating below 5,000 feet. And it doesn't give me any indication of what it is tied to, just other than an exercise is scheduled. So, but it looks like you got a lot of stuff happening off the eastern seaboard of Australia, all the way down from Sydney up to all the way even further north of Rockhampton and Townsville. Very, very interesting. Here's some stuff going off the coast of Brisbane as well. Danger areas activated. All right, and then we get up here into, looks like that is, I think that's Darwin. Yeah, Darwin. And we've got something happening here. Doesn't say what, but it goes till May 21st. And then some activity going on a little further south too, restricted areas also. So very, very busy and active, and looks like some things going on out here over Perth also. All right, let's move on from this, because there are thousands of little boxes we could talk about. Okay, let's look at, even in the evening, if we get any reprieve. It looks like we're still over here on our Star Wars map, just getting peppered. The world is going crazy mad when it comes to cyber attacks, and It is unrelenting here, no doubt about it. All right, let's move on. Let's get over to the Biggs Army Airfield, and actually kick it off with a camber flight coming out of Frankfurt, Germany, headed to destination unknown, but it sure does look like it's headed, if I had to guess, I don't know, maybe it's somewhere over here along, we'll just wait. I'll be speculating. I don't want to do that. So let's just go on over here to the next. Okay. United Airlines looked like an arrival from Portsmouth into Biggs Army Airfield, and then from there it's headed back to San Francisco. Again, deadhead flight more than likely, coming in with some folks and then leaving empty. And that's because, and I just say that because United Airlines, they're based out of San Francisco, so that's typically what happens. Then we got an Omni Air 777 also coming in. That's on the schedule, hasn't done anything yet, so keep an eye on that. And Dover, anything new? We got an Atlas Air coming in from Chicago, 747-400, one reach, looks like a C-17. Ramstein, headed, so that Atlas Air is headed over to Ramstein. Again, big boy. That's Marajet, looks like that's headed over to England. That's a 67300. And then there's that, the B703, which is a 707-300 Israeli Air Force jet, came in and out of Dover. All right, Ramstein. Let's see if we got anything on the board. Yeah, we've got an Atlas Air, a camber, another camber flight. That one's headed to Turkey. This one's headed, or sorry, coming in from Turkey. Arrival board, sorry. Arriving from Dover, big boy. That one's coming in from England. And then at Atlas Air, another one coming in from Baltimore, Washington, a big one. And then from here, it's going to go to Kuwait, 747-400. And then that other Atlas Air is headed back to Baltimore, Washington. Could be a troop rotation or coming back empty. RZE, again, this is Ukraine right here. Forward operating base in Poland. And let's see what's on the arrivals. Let's just go through. We're going to look at, these are camber flights as we go down. Another camber flight. But the big piece of this is the size and where it's coming from. Anchorage, Alaska. So that's probably bringing boom stuff. Anchorage, Alaska. Again, artillery. Let's go on down here. That's coming in from Nuremberg. That's just probably rotating some troops around in the region. And then this one doesn't tell me what it is, but coming in from Cologne. Now, outbound, let's see what we've got on the docket here. Caleta Air, 747. National Cargo, headed to Hong Kong, 747. Air Hamburg, I don't know who that is. That's just commercial probably. UPS, camber flight, 67300. And then we go down a little further, and it looks like we've got... everything's good. All right, let's move on. And then over here, again, 747-400s. This one's coming out. Looks to be, let me just double check that one. I don't know. Is that Muscat? That doesn't sound right. Well, anyway, I think that's UAE. Let me just, I think that's Qatar, UAE. So looks like that one's just taken off. No, that is Muscat, I guess. That's what that MCT stands for, SEAB International. All right. So there's that. We got one came out of Spain, and then we have these down here. That one looks to be, it's only at 500 feet. Is that right? 20. That's on, yeah. Anyway, 747-400 looks to be down near the Philippines. Let's move on over here. Western Global, looks like we have one of our boys rolling out of South America, headed up to what looks to be Miami, maybe. And then this one here looks to be coming out of Europe, headed across the drink. And again, both of these are MD-11s. So, all right, Omni Air, going to be the last one. Looks like you were just catching it as it took off from Seattle, Tacoma, landing at Yokota Air Base in Tokyo, Japan. And it is on what looks to be pretty close to final. It's down to about 12,700 feet at 411 miles an hour. Okay, listen, that is going to do it for our sit rep today. I apologize for calling the audible on you. For the members, we won't have a Q&A because I probably won't have power to do a Q&A, much less a sit rep. So we will catch back up with you guys on Friday with the live show and then the Q&A for the members after the live show. That's it. You guys be safe out there. Keep that powder dry and stay frosty. God bless. Monkey out. Check out the latest gear and products at monkeywerxus.com.